Mind you, listener, if it's been a long time since you've watched this movie or you didn't care about spoilers, no one says anything to him.
They just look at him because he's a crazy dude that walks into a bank with a gun.
And they all go like, "Hello, can I help you?" And he goes, "I'm here." Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
I girl boss too.
Is that how it feels to put on special sunglasses?
I do feel like a girl boss when I can look through sunglasses and see. Now part of me wants to Google what girl boss means. Does it really just mean the same thing?
It means what it sounds like, but it's more of a meme. So, okay. The way that I remember first encountering the phrase girl boss is like that kind of lazy feminism way where they're like, no, you're a girl boss. You don't need to have a man tell you what to do. But because it was used like overly much, then it turned into that whole like a meme where it's like, are you familiar with the phrase girl boss, gatekeep, gaslight, or gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep?
I've heard, yes.
Yeah, it's in that phrasing, I like to use it as a form to justify when I know someone is doing something they shouldn't. I go, bud, just gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep. Like, I forget what it was. I said it recently, but I say it ironically all the time. But I said it
Did you
where
say it at the event yesterday?
I did not. I probably should have. But I think I was watching Strider play the Golden Idol series. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
It sounds familiar, but I am not.
I guess you could say it's like a point and click, but it's one of those where you have a scene in front of you and you can click and interact with things, and then you need to puzzle together like what led to what happened. So you have like phrases that you pick up and then you fill in blanks to say like, oh, so-and-so killed so-and-so with something, that kind of thing. And I think one of the women in one of the scenes like did something so ridiculous. I was like, you know what? Girl boss, gatekeep, gaslight. Like, good for you. But no, girl boss is just one of those, I would say, because most bosses tend to like present male. Girl boss is supposed to be like what a female entrepreneur or femme presenting person would say, like, oh no, I'm a girl boss. Or you could just say you're a boss at something. When I think you're a boss, I think of the gender neutral like gaming term.
Mm-hmm. You're someone I have to defeat and take your power and become stronger.
Yeah, isn't that what CEOs tell us all the time?
Hey, some people are taking that literally.
Much like the people in the movie we watched.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It also reminds me, I keep forgetting to ask you about Silent Hill F, because I would come home from work and open up Discord, and Discord now rats on everybody playing games.
Yes, I did watch Strider.
Yeah.
In my Discord we made the horror gaming channel, and we were putting quotes, poking fun at the fact we were playing Silent Hill F. Strider was playing it and I was watching. I think I liked it a lot. The normal ending, I think the first ending you are forced to do the first ending. Mm-hmm. And you can only do the additional endings on New Game Plus. Didn't love the first ending, especially based on how we played the character, because we were all confused at what would cause a different ending, because I think they tell you there's 5 in total. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, I think the storytelling and the characters, I liked it. Yeah,
it's on my list. I'm just not at a place to drop $70 on a game, so I'm gonna probably wait till it goes on sale. I also heard that combat's a little wonky.
Strider didn't seem to have that much trouble with it. He did hear in a review that it was difficult, but it's a little bit more Souls-like because no guns, because post-war Japan. Yeah. So it is a little bit more melee and countering and things like that.
Now, I think I just saw a video of where, and I don't know what difficulty this streamer was playing on, but they would just sidestep to the left, stab, sidestep to the left, stab. And it might have just been a certain enemy or boss type that they were able to do that to. But I saw that and I'm like, okay. maybe I'll wait a sec. But no, that was like one of the things like, oh yeah, I want to ask Hop about that. And then it was just like, we talk about everything else. And then it'll be like the next day, I'm like, oh, I wanted to ask about Silent Hill. Because I like that series.
Strider might be able to give you a bit more info on it than I can, because he's played, I don't know if he's played every game, but I know he's at least played most of them. We haven't finished the 2 remake. I think that's mostly my fault, because every time James has an opinion in the remake, I go, wow, I hate this guy. And I know Strider said the ending is very good, and that I would like the ending. It's just, it's hard to get there. He said from his memory, he likes the original better, because there's more things to pick up that round out James as a character. And the remake, it doesn't seem to have a lot of pick-upables, so he's just like kind of filling in gaps for me, because I'm like, no, why would James say that? And Strider's like, oh, there was a note that I remember in the older one that like blah blah blah. Yeah. And I think he said that the voice acting in the newer one also kind of makes him feel a lot like less likable. Not that you're supposed to like him, but I just had trouble where we would turn a corner and James would be like, no, why would that be here? I'm like, sir, you already beat up 500 naked nurses. What's one more?
This is where I actually felt it was bad. I never, the only Silent Hill game I played was Homecoming, which is 5, but I like the movies, and I also, I like watching, I've watched people play 3.
Okay.
But I never seen it to completion. So it was just I'm like, I like everything I read and hear about this series. And I know 5 apparently, I think from what I've read from the overarching community, is not well received. But I don't know. I enjoyed what I played and what I saw, and then my PS3 exploded, and I was never able to finish it.
Rest in peace. Yeah, I can't, I'm not as familiar with the series as a whole, but I enjoyed watching F. And it was, I think the way F is told, we were able to go back and forth and do a lot of theory stuff about what does this represent, what do we think happened, where do we think it's going. And I think if you can write a game in a way that, people who read a lot want to sit and cross-examine what some of the symbolism is, then you've probably done a pretty solid job. Because, in Silent Hill nature, monsters represent, traumas represent past experiences, and then you get the flashbacks that go, okay, was I right? Was I wrong? Did I assume too much? Did I fill in too many gaps? But
yeah. So, and you know what they also fill in the gaps with? Sunglasses. Ew.
Smooth. I tried to do the segue before you asked about Silent Hill. I had a very good segue.
I know. And like most things, I just bumble over, and I was like, it was more like, I wasn't actually expecting the answer right now. It was more like, oh, I wanted to ask you about that later. But then you answered my question.
It's kind of, 'tis the season. These are coming out right around Halloween, so that's perfectly fine. I think it still works.
And trust me, if we talked about Resident Evil, that, what was it, 4 to 5 minute quick sum up would have been twice as long, because I don't know how to be short-winded.
Then that's totally okay. Good thing we have a short movie to discuss today. If you haven't caught it in the title, we watched They Live, as this is our second to last John Carpenter movie that we're watching through in October.
Is it the second?
Well, our second to last. One away from the last one.
Yes, the penultimate.
Yes, because we wanted to save the other one to be released for Halloween, so we watched them a little out of production order, and that's okay. We've done it before. We can do it again.
And if you have a problem with it, well, farts on you.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
But
we'll say everyone really likes Halloween. I went and checked something, and I was like, oh, man. That got a lot of views.
Halloween coming out in October as a movie discussion, I think, is just
I didn't see any comments, but I'll just double check real quick. But
yeah, so we have They Live, which was, I think it's actually kind of nice that we watched it right after we watched Escape from New York, and because they kind of do feel like kind of adjacent movies in the way that they're presented. where you have dystopian action. So it's pretty interesting. I would say, I don't know, I have opinions. We can get into it when we get into Spoiler Town. But yes, like I was saying, so this is our John Carpenter month. We have one more movie after this that we're watching. We'll let you know what that is before we jump into Spoiler Town. Well, if this is your first time here, we have watched through a bunch of directors this year. We're doing this through till December. And when we talk about movies, we both roll some dice to see who gives kind of like a short summary of it without any spoilers. Then we discuss back and forth about different questions to kind of start the conversation. And then we will warn you once we get into Spoiler Town. I do think this is one of those movies that no matter what we say, you kind of have to watch it. So I will tell you that. Because the way this movie is constructed is not how I imagine the beginning half or the second half of the movie. Like, the two do not naturally combine. In this series, we've watched a lot of movies like the first half, and we've watched a lot of movies like the second half. But for the two of them to combine, I know you have your favorite segue into the action part that...
There's so many you know what? No, I'll say that for Spoiler Town. Why the first half and the second half feel so different.
Yeah, but it's just, in any case. So let us roll our 12-sided dice because we will be watching through 12 different directors. It does feel like just yesterday that we were on director 1 and now we're director 10.
Yeah.
Let's see if your hot streak continues.
Doesn't feel good.
What did you roll?
A 5.
I rolled a 4.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know why I rolled a 5 and I was looking at that. And in my chest, I'm like, I'm sensing 4 energy from Hop.
We've gone through this plenty of times. But, yeah, so feel free to give us a nice, sweet, and short summary, and then I'll start asking you some questions.
All right. So we follow Nada, a dude that just showed up. I just found out this movie takes place in California, thanks to the Wikipedia. Also, that his name was Nada.
I didn't know his name. I figured California based on the houses.
Yeah, that makes sense. So he comes up looking for a job, and he gets one where he meets up with another buddy, who takes him to this like kind of like homeless camp, where pretty much we learn that there's this guy that's hacking the airways on the TV that's warning about there's these others that are want everyone to stay asleep mentally and just pretty much just like not pay attention, just go around with the status quo and all that stuff. And Nada is like, oh man, that's interesting, as everyone complains, to find out that it's right next door in a church, to wear sunglasses reveal alien creatures that are trying to control humanity.
Spoilers. It is the poster. I'm teasing you.
I was like, yeah. I was like, whatever. It's also on, it is on the poster. Anyway, so, yeah. I spoiled it all because you need to be awake. You need to be aware. I also had a podcast I used to listen to that I think this movie was like, he's like, this is what really happens. It's not aliens, it's the government. But anyway.
Hey, look, they did say that everything should happen by 2025.
I know, I was like, oh.
And it's funny, I recently read Parable of the Sower, and that is also set in 2025 as a dystopian. The government has been too greedy and left everybody else behind. And I'm like, everybody else knew, huh? But, oh, media.
Yeah. What was it? There's somebody that was like, no, they have to warn us when they do anything like this. And I'm like, I forget what it was. They're like, yeah, they warned us that 9/11 is going to happen by a TV show. And I forget what the name of the TV show is. And I'm like, okay. Cool.
Whatever you want to say. But in any case, before we jump down different conspiracies, if this is the only movie you watch by John Carpenter, would you watch the rest of their catalog?
Yeah. It's
Isn't it interesting? This is the same director as Halloween and It, or The Thing. Sorry, not It, but The Thing.
yeah.
Like
It's
it doesn't like it feels like within different genres, it's like a completely different person.
yeah, like even the last movie, like if you told me that the guy who did what was last week?
The Thing
No, we
or
didn't watch.
Halloween.
No,
Oh,
the
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York.
Okay.
Like they live in Escape from New York. Like as you said earlier, seem much closer than Halloween and The Thing. I think there's other movies he made. I just forget what they're called. It's just like even our mysterious fourth movie that we're not telling you yet. But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just I think I like his take on sci-fi, but at the same time I'm like I don't think it has the same strength as some of his sci-fi horror or just horror stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think I agree. Like begrudgingly I would watch more. Like this is not my favorite movie. I've watched it before because I've seen a lot of the symbolism from the movie. But when I actually watched it, I went, how such strong concept get here?
It makes me. I am curious what the like 8 o'clock in the morning like because I think they said that was a short story, and I'm like, what like is it like when they say short story? I'm gonna look it up now,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm like I was curious. I'm like okay, how much? Because Total Recall, that is like, I think maybe a 20-page book. It's like if that maybe like it's under 50 pages. And it's like the movie and the story, like there's concepts, but it's just like there's just so much more that goes on about it.
I found 8 o'clock in the morning, published in 1963, on archive.org,
So
and
did
it
I.
has
It's
6 pages. Yeah.
Oh, it just cuts to the one part.
Oh, that's where it ends.
It like I just see
Oh, I see the last sentence is pretty intense.
of the whole thing.
Yeah, just go to page 6. Just
Yeah.
yeah, that's not how that ended.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I want to read it. I'll actually read this because it's short and not like how I said I was going to watch Rabbits, which was 45 minutes of my life that every time I looked at it, I was like, I don't feel like doing this right now.
Not right now.
So what is the next question?
The next question is, how much did you root for the characters? Feel free to pick and choose if you rooted for any of them. Because there's actually a lot of characters, not all named, but...
Before... Hold on, I gotta scroll down to the character list. I think I rooted for Frank until his character completely flipped.
Frank was a normal guy. He was a very normal guy. And he reminded us at least 5 times in the first 20 minutes, I'm just a guy.
Yeah. Which, like, if you do that, that means, like, no, you aren't. But, yeah, no, I rooted for him until it was just, like, yeah, he was, like, I'm just doing, it was, like, his whole argument, I got a wife and kids. Where? Don't worry about that.
In Detroit.
Oh, yeah, in Detroit. Which I didn't even know where we were, so I'm just like...
Oh, sure,
like,
whatever.
I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
they allude to, I think his family was in Detroit. The main characters was in Denver.
Yes.
And they talk about, like, economically a lot of states are struggling because things are closing.
Yeah. I recognize the skyline and the bridge that they walk across multiple times, so, like, from other movies, but I'm just like, I don't know why or where this is. Like, I thought they were in Detroit because he was like, yeah, they're
That's where his family is. Yeah, I could see rooting for Frank in the beginning portion. It is a lot harder to root for him after the midway point. I rooted for, I think his name is Gilbert, the one that was like
Yes.
helping run the camp, where he's just like, all right guys,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna like maintain things, but we're gonna like try and fix things in our own way, we're gonna be nonviolent and all this stuff. And then it's just like, not, he wasn't given the option anymore, and I was like, oh, I feel bad for him. I did not root for the main character. There was not a time that the main character made me like him. I laughed at him a lot.
He felt less human than the aliens. Like, I don't know. I wish. Was he like a ranger or something like that? Like, was
No,
he?
he worked at a bank.
He was
He
okay.
said he
That's
was,
what it was.
Yeah,
I
he said
I
he was
know why I'm
working
getting.
at banks.
I saw.
Yeah.
I just saw a clip of Rambo, so that's why I was getting. Oh man, why didn't we put? Never mind. So
War movies.
I was just thinking like, oh man, oh yeah, war movies, but I don't know.
Because I think that's what the director, that's his other main thing, right? Rainbow and war movies. If I remember who directed Rambo.
I thought it was Sylvester Stallone.
He directed it? I thought he's the actor in it.
I thought he directed it. I'll look it up.
Maybe the newer ones. I don't think he directed the first one.
The first, I don't know.
Oh, it does say directed by him.
Yeah. And the first one is not someone like it's the after effects of war.
For some reason, I thought whoever directed Rambo also directed like the movie that messed up Charlie Sheen, because those are also filmed in the same kind of like jungles. I can't remember it.
The first Rambo movie takes place in like Seattle, not Seattle, but like Washington, or no, he wants to go to Portland. So yeah, it's like in a mountain town, like in Colorado or something.
Oh, why do I think of the jungle?
The second one onward takes place in Nam, because like after that, I think he goes back and. But
It says the plot of the first one, he lives in Thailand.
Is it First Blood? Hold on.
And it talks about Burma. I forget if that's the name that they prefer between that and Myanmar. But
I'm looking this up now. Not
yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah, it says back in Thailand, Rambo is hired to transport mercenaries, etc., etc.
Oh, yeah, I could be wrong. That's. Okay, no. That's okay. So we're looking at two different movies. So the first Rambo movie is called First Blood.
Oh, and what year was that one?
That one's 1982, and that one is directed by somebody different.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were correct. I was wrong, but yeah, it pretty much he goes to Washington to find an old buddy from the Vietnam War, but learned that he died from complications with Agent Orange, and then the whole town's just like, okay, dude, and then he just like has a whole standoff, like. He reenacts he has war with the whole police force of this town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking jungle because his flashbacks maybe and his more modern interpretations.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he had flashbacks in that movie, like if they showed flashbacks. But I know after First Blood, I think there's Rambo First Blood 2, which I think that might be when Sylvester Stallone
started
took
directing
over.
them.
Yeah, because Rambo's based off a book, and Rambo, spoilers, dies in the book, but Sylvester Stallone, like in his movie, they kept him alive, and the author was pretty pissed about that, but then saw like all the other stories and like different sides of like that character and just different like things, and he's like, no, they made the right choice about exploring more. I don't know if he still says about that about the other movies, but yeah. Any poops.
The movie I think I was thinking about is Platoon.
Okay.
Maybe. I think that has Charlie Sheen in it.
Yes, I believe so. Anyway,
Easily distractible tonight.
mm,
Anyway, so yeah, so the tangent is there were a lot of cheesy one-liners like there are in action movies, i.e. Rambo.
well, no, okay. So I think the way I was getting there. So I was getting confused because I just saw a clip from Rambo saying that he was like a soldier and all that stuff, and I was getting it mixed up with this movie.
Oh, this character. Okay.
And because the dude is okay, like honestly, like I don't know what steroids were in the water in the like 80s, but it was just like that's what bankers looked back then.
I looked up the IMDb for the person that plays the main character, and he clearly, I think I saw a clip of him like walking out in a WWE
Oh yeah,
stage.
Rodney Piper. Yeah, he's I know he's professional wrestler. Yeah, Roddy Piper. So yeah, now that when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a WWE guy. Like especially when I saw his name afterwards. I never watched a lot of WWE, but I have a lot of friends who are, and still are. But yeah, it was like, I'm like okay, and that makes sense. Like the whole middle.
Getting his part.
Yeah. I wonder if. Yeah. Anyway.
I did not root for. I don't know if she was supposed to be a love interest. She was a girl
Holly.
boss. She was
Yeah.
a girl boss. I guess the people in the encampment, I felt bad that they got like the short end of the stick, especially the guy that was just like, man, I get headaches when they do this on my TV. And I'm like, sorry, guy, you didn't ask for that.
My brains.
But what grade would you give the plot? Do you want to give 2 different grades for the first half and the second half?
Because I thought the setup like was really cool, and then like
It's a really good dystopian.
yeah, I think kind of probably I think he gets caught too early personally, but like I also understand kind of why they had to do that with just the length of the movie, and also makes sense to an extent, but yeah, I think I give it a B minus. Just
Okay.
overall, like it was fun, even though
It's very watchable.
yeah,
There are not really many slow moments except for that one little pocket. For me, I laughed through an entire section of a movie that's not a comedy. But I think I also land about a B minus, maybe a C plus.
yeah,
Because I wish the second half was paced differently.
mm-hmm.
Like, I understand how we get to the second half, and I understand that character doesn't know another answer to solve the problem, but it immediately goes from, like, a slow burn of, like, discovering everything happening around you to just bing, bang, boom. Literally. Especially, the part that gets me is the bank scene, and we could talk about it in Spoiler Town, because I was just like, sir, this is not how you go about anything.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
The store is also very funny. The convenience.
Oh yeah,
store
I love
makes
the
you
store.
laugh a lot. How likely would you recommend this movie to others?
I would like at least to watch it once. Like, I think it's just.
I don't think there's any other movie that strings together its thought processes like this. Like,
Yeah.
even though we watch David Lynch, you go in expecting it to not make sense. This one, it's almost like, oh, I understand what kind of movie this is, and goes, but what if it wasn't?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to read the quotes from the movie.
Yeah,
There were so many
bring them up
one-liners.
now.
I did ask Strider. I said, "Who said it first, Duke Nukem or the character from this movie?" He said, "Oh, the character from this movie." I was like, "Oh, good." It's the most liked quote for the movie.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I was like, that's where this line comes from.
And it's totally silent. There's no music. There's nothing else happening. He just stands there and goes, "Hello, bank full of people."
Yeah. You, that line, I honestly thought came from an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like real dialogue.
Yeah, but I think the iconic line, or not iconic line, but the line's like, "This is my boomstick,"
It
which
does
is
feel
from
very in
that's from
line,
Army
yeah.
of Darkness. Any poops?
If you are ready, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready to go to Spoiler Town, but hold up, the timer is a little.
A little shy today.
Yeah, I packed that away too. By the way, everyone, next episode, if you're watching the video, I'll have a completely different background.
Yeah, you may have noticed it's just two ominous shelves in the background.
Yeah. And a bag.
Oh, maybe I need sunglasses for you. You don't have personal human effects. Who knows? For audio listeners, he took his lens cap to cover his camera.
If I stand like this, I can reflect my screen and hide my eyes. Anyway, Spoiler Town is coming up next, and we're stepping on the train at 3, 2, 1. Boop, boop.
Turn back now if you don't want to be spoiled from a movie from, what
88?
year was it? 88.
That's me.
Happy birthday.
No, that's next year.
Where do we start?
Okay.
Do you want to start with your favorite part so we don't forget about it?
What is the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I was about to suggest let's start there, because it's like it's so ridiculous, but it's like knowing that Roddy Piper is a WWE fighter or wrestler, like that whole fight scene makes sense. Like
it still doesn't make sense, but it
the
not
choreography,
in the context of the movie.
The choreography
okay.
makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like this goes on.
Every time you think it's about to end, they stand up and go, "What if I punch you one more time?" And I was like, "It surely has to end." And then he goes, "What if I suplex him?" I'm like, "It surely has to end." He's like, "What if I bend his back over my knee?" I'm like, "It surely has to end." But me knowing that was the first time I watched it, I sat there and I was like, "Is this real? Is this like really part of the movie?" And then me on this rewatch, I saw it coming where he's in the cleanest trash or garbage truck I've ever seen. Not only cardboard in there. And as soon as he gets dumped out of it, I went, "It's time."
Yeah, it was just funny watching it, because it was
Don't talk to me. You've lost your mind. I do love the line leading up to it where he goes, "How many people have you killed?" He goes, "None." And he goes, "You've lost it. You've lost it, man." "Don't talk to me. I have a family." We're like, "Yeah, we know. We know."
That's
you
like your whole personality. Yeah, it was just funny, because like he falls out, and like in that moment, he loses the glasses, and then, but like, because even that scene's hilarious, where he just gets conked on the back of the head, and it's like, that is the weakest glass looking over an embankment.
I had to rewatch it because I was like, wait, how did he fall? Oh, she hits him in the head. Got it.
Yeah.
Because it was so dramatic and so fast.
Yeah.
I also, when we get back to the fight itself, I do have this line that made no sense to me. But you can, yeah, he loses his glasses.
And then, like, when I'm watching there, he goes in and pulls out a single pair of glasses. And to me, I'm like, he only has one. Like, because the way he's, like, reacting, it almost feels like, oh my goodness, there's the only one, which didn't make sense. But then he has another pair.
He left the box in the trash can.
Yeah, I know he put the box in the trash can, but, like, when he pulls out, it felt like the way it played out for me watching is like he pulled out one pair and he's like, haha, I'm good. And then it's just like, okay. And for some reason, I think that, like, that pile of trash just disappears for the fight scene. But,
yeah.
Yeah, but then they both have sunglasses. Like, even though the box is there, and it felt like all of them were lost but the one. But
it did feel like an empty box. But yeah, this is the quote, speaking of the trash can. The main character says, "I'm giving you a choice. Either put on these glasses or start eating that trash can." To which the other character in that scene goes, "Not this year." Next year? After the new year? Like, what does that mean? Shouldn't it be no way?
No, no, not this year.
Not this time.
Maybe next year. With the economy getting worse. But yeah, no, I think the whole second half of the movie is, from the multiple suplexes, they're just in a coma in the back of that alley dying.
They're laying there. I mean, there is a point where they actually have the makeup artist, at least I hope it's a makeup artist, for the back of Keith David's head looks like it's like
yeah, it's missing,
completely scraped. And I'm like, I hope that's special effects.
Yeah.
Because he's still going in full character. Because the blood is clearly like, it's too dark, right? And things like that.
So I was like, oh my goodness. Like it really felt like that whole fight scene. It was like, okay, just do a whole bunch of scenes, whatever. We'll cut it in post and make it looking good. And then it was like, they're like, oh wait, we needed to have it be X amount of time.
We need 15 minutes of footage. Let's use more of the fight scene.
Pad time. But, I guess we can talk. Do you want to talk about the first half first, or what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, that. I guess the first half, because I think I can sum it up pretty easily. Where it's such a good like setup for a dystopian world, and it's much more relevant today than I think it was back then. And I did ask Strider. I asked, was there a major recession then? And he says from his recollection, the main thing was like the fuel shortages. So a lot of people were exposed to the idea that the economy is being supported essentially by like a few goods. And if those few goods dry up, what happens to the economy? And this is like a really interesting to look at because it focuses so much on like, if you keep consuming, then you don't ask questions, which I think like, again, in 2025, it's a very relevant topic because you and I have talked about like, what can we cancel? What subscriptions can you get rid of? What can we like buy one of and just listen to or watch to over and over again versus like being inundated with like one really good movie, i.e. like we talked about a movie on a streaming service before this, and then everything else on that streaming service you're never going to watch. Mm-hmm. Theoretically, you have access to thousands of movies. You're not going to watch more than 2 of them because the rest of them aren't that great. But yeah, so it's like an interesting look at that stuff. And I really like the effect of it becoming black and white and like soulless once he has the sunglasses on and has that big reveal. And then you get to, I don't know. And then it's just, I would have loved it if it didn't become an action movie. Because it's almost like, in a weird way, they're making fun of the people that are trying to build a movement. Because he actually, like he says, he doesn't have a lot of people in the underground movement. But he has a good amount of people. And they have a varied set of skills. They're self-sufficient. They grow their own food. They build their own houses. They have been trying to reverse engineer their technology and have access to their tech. And he's just trying to say, like, guys, we don't need guns. And then everyone's like, guns, guns, guns. Yeah.
It's like, that was, like, that whole second half where it was just like, dude, we can do this, we need to bide the time. And everyone's like, no, we can't. Which, yes, like, the movie's coming to an end.
Depending on the tipping point, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, it feels like that Nada and Keith literally are only brought into this whole organization to shoot things, which it's just like, they weren't. Like, one was a banker. Does it ever say what Keith, like,
Frank,
besides he was a dad?
Keith is the actor.
Sorry,
Frank was like steel factories, I think he said, because he had a comment about how a lot of the again, like the resources and the refining of those were no longer being done in the U.S. Mm-hmm. So a lot of factories. I think it was steel.
Yeah. Just gonna say though, like in that first half, man, that is like, Nada is real fast to just shoot anything. Like
the whole sequence, like I said, when you get to the bank, I was like, this is not a solution. And I guess at this point we can segue into talking about when he like first really uses the glasses and decides that he's he can just say things out loud, even though it seems like a really dangerous environment. I think you said you really love the store, right?
Yeah.
Where he puts on the glasses and goes, "Hey, formaldehyde face, you're so ugly." And she's like, "Good heavens."
It's like, what? And then that was the other thing where it's just like, is she reacting in human? But it's just like when they're talking into their watches, like, can everybody, like, it'd be interesting if he like took his glasses on and off, because we see them all like talking into their wrist, but like if when they take the glasses off, they look shocked and all that stuff.
Because she does move her hand towards her face, so it could be. Yeah.
Like, I thought it was really interesting. I kind of wish it became more of a hunt movie.
Yeah, for him, it would be more interesting if he was trying to be a little bit more subversive rather than being like, "You, ugly, you're dying today." And I'm like, that's not how you solve a world crisis, but you can certainly try. Like we said, like leading into the bank scene, I was like, he knows there's a lot of civilians in here, and yet he chose a shotgun. But go ahead, Deepin. Read the infamous quote that happens in the bank scene.
Oh, that's the trivia. It's like, "Come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum."
Mind you, listener, if it's been a long time since you've watched this movie or you didn't care about spoilers, no one says anything to him.
They just look at him because he's a crazy dude that walks into a bank with a gun. Two.
And they all go like, "Hello, can I help you?" And he goes, "I'm here." And everybody's like, is he robbing the bank? And then he goes, "You're fine. You're ugly," and just shoots him. And I was like, that's not. And then the guy in the corner with his little watch, and he goes, "He's in his mid-30s. He has blonde hair. He's a Caucasian male." And what is the quotes on here too? It's
Mama don't like tattletales.
And then he teleports, and I was just like, huh. And there's a quote much later. I think this is in the like last third of the movie, and he says it once he convinces after the wrestling and stuff. This line I want to say more in my life. "Brother, life's a bitch, and she's back in heat. What does that mean? I don't know." But then like they have other side characters that are really smart, where they talk about like they have the footage of the guy trying to like cut through the broadcast, and he goes like, "They're like getting rid of the middle class. They're making you all extremely poor, so you have to work for them. Capitalism is like taking us all for the ride, and you guys don't realize it." And I'm like, there are so many good messages in this movie, but so much focus is on a guy saying the weirdest one-liners unprompted.
Well, he is a WWE wrestler. Oh man, it's just.
Oh, I remember what he says to the one older lady. That's like, oh no, there's the lady fixing her hair in a reflection. He just shouts at her, "That's like pouring perfume on a pig." Yeah. Unprompted. She's just standing there.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I think, like, for the time, because I in a vague sense, there is that whole connective plot line of the aliens are there to control, and they're here to just take everything we need. There's humans that are like selling their souls because they know what are happening to be rich in a moment, but like ruining the humanity.
Yeah.
And it's like, still, like, that is a great line, but we have a meathead of a man that's just like, "I'm here to kick you, and I shoot guns. I got a best buddy now. He's got a family." And it's just like,
the message is really like watered down.
Yeah, it's
especially like you said, they have the whole banquet in the end where the guy.
I thought
in the beginning,
that was really cool.
They have.
Go ahead.
It's the guy that was complaining about headaches, who was like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Where's your fancy outfits? Don't you have the money now? You got invited into the big leagues. I don't care what happens." I'm pretty sure
I didn't know
the
who
guy.
That was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because in the quotes they have him labeled as the drifter, and he talks about like, what's wrong with having it good for a change, which is a common theme like that we see nowadays too, where people are like, well, like, he promised me like a big paycheck if I did something evil, and it's like, you admit you knew it was evil. You did it for the paycheck. But yeah, and then they have
too close to the sun.
No. By the time this releases, maybe the lyrics will have changed. But
What is this, a Kanye West song?
no, that she has older
has she
lyrics to
changed?
songs that she's. There is a homophobic line in a really old song of hers, and she's
Oh.
removed the line. There's a lot of clips of her singing it when she's younger, where she's like, uh, she says, "That's fine. I'll tell my friends you're gay." But she, like, the way she sings gay is, like, a little, like, enthusiastic. But she's since changed that lyric because it
Her
is
her
homophobic.
crunchy roots come out.
But yeah, so basically, yeah, you have the whole banquet where everyone's, like, dressed up and they realize there's a mix of humans and the alien creatures. It is very funny that the guy who, like, finds them in the suit and recognizes them is like, let me give you the grand tour again. Probably because the movie was so short that they had them reveal every single secret within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they established that the most important thing is to stop the broadcast. And he walks up and goes, and here's where we broadcast everything. I was like, well, that's convenient.
I know I said this a couple times, but I feel like with Carpenter's films, at least the last two, Escape from New York and They Live, I think I would like to see like a mini series, like a 6-episode kind of.
A little bit more in depth.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so much more that it's just due to the time constraints of a movie. Like, I feel like this whole plot and movie would work better in like a 2.5 hour plot rather than just like an hour and a half.
Yeah, an extra hour could have helped smooth
Flesh
things
it out,
out.
yeah.
But I also wouldn't hate it if this was kind of given the what's the Hulu series? I didn't finish it. Shogun, where that one I think
I'm
in
reading the
total
book.
is like
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's a thick book.
Yeah. I'm
I think
halfway through the first half.
I think the series is maybe anywhere between 6 and 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. So I also wouldn't hate it if this was given like 6 hours for us to kind of like establish things a little slower and maybe make me care about the main character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I almost went into Shogun because I am reading. I finally was able to get into it, and it's like all political intrigue, and I'm like, I'm digging this. Anyway, yeah, it's because I don't know, like the crazy guy is like, it's fun and all that, but it's just like I don't care for him at all. Like, he's.
You don't like the fact that he said, you look like your head fell in the cheese dip back in 1957?
It felt like they filmed this whole movie, did table reads, and they're like, it's all good, but it's like, it's just a little slow. We need an idiot.
We need the comedic relief.
Yeah, and not calling Roddy Piper an idiot. I don't know his career, life, or anything like that, but Nada as a character, I'm like, I think
these lines were not only hard to sell, but sold terribly. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit like Nada, I'm just like, I think I know why the bank failed if this is the person. Like, because it doesn't say how he, like, who he was, like if he was a teller or whatnot. But yeah, no, I think I would like this to be given like a little mini series thing, just like what I think would almost I think Lost did this, where like the first season, like each episode kind of focused on a different character. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if we focused on
how they end up on the island.
Yeah, and it's like, it'd be interesting if we had like Nada's whole story was how he got involved with like how he finds the glasses and all that, and then it's like we go into like different people into there, or just do the whole thing from Nada's perspective. I don't know. There's plenty of things they could do. But
I mean, there's one theme that I think it was like that could be interesting if it got dug into more. I just saw one of the quotes where they had the guy trying to intercept all the newscasts, and he says like, the reason that they're doing global warming, essentially, right, like pumping the atmosphere full of carbon monoxide and all these poisonous things, is to make that atmosphere something they can live on.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is an interesting, fascinating thing. What if the current billionaires are lizard people and they needed to be really hot all the time to
Feels
survive?
like I'm listening to this podcast I used to listen to where they did talk about news and like talked about how there was like a lot of like similarities and stuff, and then they would always kind of go into like conspiracy theory and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting, and then
Lost me a little bit.
me a little bit, and then it was just one of those things where I had to just take a step back from listening to anything news related, because I'm like, I am getting irrationally angry at everyone in my life by listening to people talk about idiots. So I'm much happier.
Yes, but there's always a balance of things, because I try to stay informed, but I also have to.
Yeah,
I have to sit. I've picked up knitting again. I had to restart one of my projects, but I was like, if I knit for a little bit instead of read everything there is to read, then maybe I won't be as sad. And that's how I also think this movie also plays into it, where the characters are like, you know, there's that balance where you have Nada, who has lost his mind. He goes, I learned the truth, and I'm going to do anything to stop the truth. And then you have other characters like the broadcast lady, who's like in that weird gray area where she's like, I know the truth, and I intercepted the group to like be a bad guy. But like, I'm really just a bad guy, even though I pretend to be a good guy. And I think that she could have been a really interesting character if she was given the time to be more of like a traitor.
Yeah. No, okay. That, because I know the way they built it up, they're like, Holly, oh my goodness, you joined the whole thing. As soon as she showed up, I'm like, how'd they actually get here? So I'm like, how?
And then 2 minutes later, everything bad happens?
Yeah.
Suspicious.
I'm just like, I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, how you get here? I'm like, because last we saw, you threw this man out the window and tried to murder him.
Claimed he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Tried to talk big words at him so he didn't understand that you knew what the sunglasses did.
Yeah, and then...
Because, how did she phrase it? She was like, whether or not I put them on, I'll see what you want me to see, because you have a gun. I was like, I'm confused. And I understand. I've watched this movie already.
Yeah, and so it's just, like, I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, okay. And then in one sense, I understand why like Nada trusted Holly so much, but if we look at it, there's no reason why he should trust her at all. It's just like,
I do love the early interaction. You married? Yes. Don't lie to me. No. Do you live alone? Because I have to stay at your house. She's like, I'd rather you not. And he goes,
too bad.
Too bad. I have a headache. Boo-hoo glasses.
Yeah, and then he gets kicked off the roof and all that stuff and everything. But yeah, it's just like, she literally tried to kill you the last time you interacted with her, and then it's just like, I'm in love. You're here to fight aliens with me? And she's like, yeah.
I do like how the people in the underground group were like, why should we trust her? Because she goes, I can promise the signal is clear from us. It's not our fault. And they're just like, who's that?
Yeah. And then he's like, no, guys, it's cool. Wall explodes. And then everyone dies.
Except for them, because they get magic portal thanks to Broken Watch.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, Frank didn't deserve to go out like that.
No, he didn't even get a proper ending.
I know. It's just like, oh, we're running out of time.
Take care of Holly. She's a scared baby. Protect her from all costs.
Yeah.
But I do think the reveal is so funny where he's like, Frank, Holly, clear? And she goes, I'm clear. And he's just like, that's not good. He has that moment like, Frank?
Yeah. And then no more Frank. And then it's just like, Nada, why'd you wait so long to shoot the thing?
It was pretty. He had to watch all the lights go through it.
Yeah. I think he has ADHD. Like,
I have my mission in life, and I am going to it.
I'm going to it. Oh, look at the pretty colors.
Funnily enough, both this movie and the last movie had very important scenes happen on roofs.
Yeah.
Because Escape from New York has the whole bit where he's trying to get back onto his
Yeah, we didn't even talk
aircraft.
about that, where it's just like they made it sound like the whole view was like it's impossible to get to the top here, and then it's like, how did all these people get up here?
I know, he just walks up and has gun. He's like, "Hey, how do I get to the roof?" The elevator. Thanks. Have you seen Holly? No, not right now. All right. And then Holly's just standing in the hallway in a hoodie, and he's like, "I found you. I thought you were dead." And she's just like, "What's up?" Like, she's...
Yeah.
He's like, "You have to come with me." She's like, "Okay."
I don't think I have much of a choice. I wonder if that was like surprising to people when they first watched it, of like, Holly, how could you?
Maybe, yeah, because I don't know. I don't remember other like movies of the time, but like I said, I think the 80s is an interesting time for female main characters because a lot of them are like cooler than I feel like I expect. Like, I thought the one character from Escape from New York was really cool until she decided she needed to die because her man died, and I was like, oh, you could have been really badass.
They were soul-bound.
They're soul-bound. Oh, yes. She could not live without him. The brain.
Yeah. Not everyone can be Ripley.
So, I will ask you this. Which... Which insult was your favorite of his across the, like, many insults? I think my personal favorite is when he puts the sunglasses on and goes, "Wow, you're ugly," to the old lady, and he takes them off. He's like, "Yeah, see, you look normal." "Oh, God, you're so ugly."
It's so good.
It's so out of left field because you have this whole, like, kind of introspective, almost the mystery, right? Because he discovers the church. He discovers the lab. He's like, "I don't trust the people that are feeding me," and he's having like this whole break in his conscience, and then he just goes around, ugly, ugly, ugly.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite. That's the one I remember the most too. I'm just like sitting there thinking about it. I'm scrolling
this
through
theoretically like 80-year-old woman, and
Yeah.
he's just like, ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through them, and I'm just like, it's like, yeah, I see when I take the glasses off, she looks like a regular person, doesn't she? Put them back on, formaldehyde. You said
Formaldehyde.
Yeah, formaldehyde face, and it's just like, oh.
I do like the way the ending is played out, though, where the signal's broken and everybody looks around and they go, "Huh,
Yeah.
what is that?"
And
It's
like,
kind of cool. It's cool seeing them only being portrayed in black and white throughout the whole movie, but then once the people get to see, it's in color. But of course, there had to be like 2 seconds of boobs, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, that came up, and I was like, what's happening here? And it's like, oh, okay.
The end.
It's like, I guess that was in contract or something.
Let's see. Oh yeah, because Halloween did have boobs. Did Escape from New York have boobs?
I don't remember. Probably. I don't think actually. Well, there was
I don't recall.
there was man boobs.
Yeah, there were a lot of guys in like torn up shirts, and then there was the really tall wrestler guy.
Yeah, like I feel like with the setting of that world, it's just like there was only one girl who I'm blanking on her name. The one.
No, that's not Holly. Holly is this movie.
Yeah.
Is it Molly? Please tell me it's not Molly. Maggie.
Yeah. So I think she's the only female.
No, there's the girl that in Chock full of nuts. That gets sucked into the floor.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I'm like just scrolling through all the quotes in here. The other character I thought was just cracked me up a little bit was the street preacher. because he's just like just stumbling around blind. And then I think what just cracked me up, which is another question I have, is like, okay, we see the scene of like the police just beating the heck out of like the hack, like the guy who's on the TV,
The guy in the signal, yeah.
and the street preacher, the street preacher
Swinging his cane.
yeah, he's just like "Brr." But it's just like somehow that radio announcer guy that keeps going on doesn't he escape, and he's like in the things just like complaining why it's like we need to get these things to work. I don't understand. Like we said,
I can't remember,
I
but
thought
maybe
he was.
yeah.
I thought he was there.
Because I remember there being the father-daughter, because the girl's like, Dad, this is giving me a headache. I remember them being in there. Yeah. I don't know. It was like a decent-sized crowd. Because I know that he had walked past the guy that wanted to try and hack the watches a little bit earlier in this movie, too. But, like, only briefly. Like, he just, like, waved to him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I can't remember if the guy was through that. But again, it's also an interesting concept that they were able to set up a loudspeaker that played like basically 24/7, so they could have meetings and no one could hear them.
Yeah, unless
like,
they got too close.
Yeah, but that was a cool thing to like have them reveal. But again, the fact that the main character like kicked a hole in the wall and nobody heard it, I was like, I think they should be able to hear.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get caught there. Yeah, there's another line from Frank that doesn't make sense here. I got a job and a plan on keeping it. I walk a white line. I don't bother nobody, and nobody bothers me. So you better start doing the same. To where I think Nada does bring is like, isn't the white line in the middle of the road?
Oh yeah, he says like, yeah, he has some metaphor about like walking that line is like the worst line, which I think is also like an interesting like conversation to have with people where it's like, if you pick and choose your morals, like, that doesn't help us get anywhere.
I just realized we never said what movie we're watching before Spoiler Town.
I said They Live earlier.
No.
Oh, I see. For next week. We've hinted at it.
Yep.
How much time is left?
I think we're done. I was just looking through the trivia to see if there's anything
silly.
Oh my goodness. Okay. The big fight sequence was designed, rehearsed, and choreographed in the backyard of the director of John Carpenter's production office. The fight between Nada and Frank was only supposed to last 20 seconds. But Piper and David decided to fight it out for real, only faking the hits to the face and the groin. They rehearsed the fight for 3 weeks. Carpenter was so impressed that he kept the scene intact, which runs 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Years later on a documentary, in Search of Darkness, a journey into iconic 80s horror, David recounted the event, smiling giddily as he said, "It was good fun. I never felt safer in any fight." As Piper, a professional wrestler, coached David on how to sell the look of the punches and the savage moves in exaggerated form, making it appear more brutal than it actually was. Which it's like, okay.
It's cool that they, as like the actors, got to like do it, and it was fun for them. Mm-hmm. For me, it felt like 15 minutes and not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But that is nice of Carpenter to be like, you know what? You guys worked really hard. This is really cool. We're not going to like cut it.
And I guess it makes sense, him being a professional wrestler, like bringing that in, because that's what it felt like I was watching.
It was very showy.
Yeah.
And it was a lot for, because basically the scene is literally, hey, put on the glasses. No, I don't trust you. I don't know you. You just murdered a bunch of people. And then it goes on for 5.5 minutes of them wrestling. I like the trivia right before that about the bubble gum.
You want to read it?
Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me burp. Sorry, I had seltzer water.
Let them hear it.
Not for free.
That's right. You can get that on the Patreon.
So it says that Roddy Piper himself came up with the famous one-liner, "I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum." According to Carpenter, Piper had previously written the line in a notebook for his like potential things to use in his wrestling career, and he shared that notebook with Carpenter, and they agreed that was a line that they thought fit the character. And then later on, I think they said Piper uses it in wrestling matches.
Yes. The trivia right before that, which I think is pretty interesting as well, is that John Carpenter brought in real homeless folks into the production for several scenes of the smaller characters and gave them food as well as paychecks.
Nice.
Another thing, which this was something I didn't bring up, but I definitely noticed it, was that Roddy Piper was married at the time of filming and refused to take his wedding band off, which is why in several scenes you see his wedding band on. And I'm like, this he never.
I didn't even notice.
I did, because I'm just sitting there. I'm like looking at him. Is like, did he ever say he was married? No, that was Frank. What? Okay. Let's see.
I did like Carpenter making fun of himself. Do you remember that? In the final broadcast when they reveal the aliens, they go like, there's like an interview and this guy's like, the excessive like sex and violence in media is terrible. You know, you have directors like Romero and Carpenter who need to show restraint. So that's funny.
Oh, okay. So Nada was supposed to be Kurt Russell, which would have been funny because, like, okay. He would have been in 3 of the movies that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
But he felt that he should... well, yeah. Since they should recast. He was like, I should cast somebody else since he was in Elvis, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, and The Thing. Which... Hey, another little fact about The Thing was that John Carpenter was impressed by Keith David's performance in it and wanted him specifically for Frank. And that is what we're watching next week. Again!
A home run in that segue.
I try every once in a while. That's it. That's all my tries.
You've run out of tries for the rest of the year.
I ran out of quarters. Yeah.
It's okay. Just start the Over the Garden Wall rewatch and you'll recharge. You'll have more tries after
I don't know when we're gonna be watching that, but I know we're watching that and Alien eventually.
I had someone ask me if the first Alien was scary, and I had a moment where, because like they were talking about horror movies, and I was like, "What's yours?" And they like mentioned an A24 one. I think it was Hereditary, and then they asked me, they're like, "What about you?" I was like, "Alien," and they went, "Is that movie actually scary?" And I went, "Did you really ask me what my favorite horror movie was, and you assumed I would pick a movie that wasn't scary?" Like, I think Alien maybe is one of those movies that's like. It's had the Family Guy treatment, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so important to the culture that a lot of people like make spoofs of it. But I think if you go in just ready to watch the movie, I do think it's a scary movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think there's a lot of the scene, like there's some of the scenes are so parodied today.
Yeah, that maybe it's hard to still be scared of it, but I remember being like way too young and catching it on TV and being like, huh.
Yeah, it's like now I I think they probably digitally recreated the alien in there for some of the newer takes, but it's like it's still like, I don't know, the original one was like a dude in the shadows with a suit, but it's still like, hey, it's the concept and everything. I
had a moment. So you know how we've watched a lot of the universe. So sometimes I'll watch the Dropout show called Actually.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone who wasn't familiar with it as a listener, the premise is you get a bunch of people that are big fans of different forms of media, and you say a slightly wrong statement and see if you can find out if they can catch what's wrong. And I caught one of them wrong very quickly. I forget the name of the actor, but the one that does the Pan's Labyrinth monster costuming, that actor, the one who's the eyeballs and Pan's Labyrinth and everything.
Name,
yeah, like he also is kind of like the tall like guy. I think is he in Hellboy as well as the fish guy? And he is the fish in Shape of Water.
Yes.
So they had the list, and they also said And he's also been the xenomorph. And I was like, actually?
Yeah, actually, no.
That actor was the Predator and the xenomorph, but unfortunately died very young due to medical practices not being up to snuff in that time period. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, because we watch more movies and things, I'm like, I like, it's in my brain now. So sometimes I go, no, I'm that guy that can go, actually, you're wrong.
It's like, get wrecked. With the thing that I'm really excited for next year is that it's like the past couple of years, like we've had, like, our movies have been pre-selected, like between the both of us.
We plan them out. Yeah.
But it's like this one, it's gonna be like, here's the prompt, and we're gonna get 2 different movies, and it's like, I think we're really going to, because like I think we've been watching movies that we both like. We have very similar takes, but I think we're gonna see more of our own kind of like personality of
like
films.
what we pick for the prompts.
Yeah. And it's like I'm really interested in seeing that, because it's like we gave ourselves, I think, good like fences to like explore and to see, like, hey, does this really work? Do we really enjoy doing this? And I think the director thing was I really like this choice because it was fun. It is fun doing this, to be like, even though it's like not every movie is my favorite. I did find out my brother did not watch Moonlight Kingdom, so
okay.
And I was like, okay. And when I told him like the
premise,
because the niece was like right there, and I had to do like space,
skip a few words,
yeah. And he's just like, ugh. So I'm like, yeah, but
no, yeah, like there are a lot of these things that have been on my list because I was told you know, one of those like 100 movies you should watch before you die, or like things like that. And then having watched a lot of these directors, I go, I understand it's important, and then that's where I end my statement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now it's like, I don't know. I really enjoyed the A24 stuff because I do like their whole philosophy behind choosing what projects they decide to produce. But now it's like, now I'm wondering, because I haven't watched like really anything newer than Midsummer.
It feels like a lot has come out since we've watched like that series, and it's, my brain's also kind of like, that feels like too many movies out of the same house. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. Like, hey, good for them. I'm glad that they're being successful, but at the same time, I'm like, how many?
Yeah. But what I will say, since you kind of mentioned it, we have next year, we know what our plans are, but we haven't necessarily nailed down exact things. As Dpayne mentioned, we plan on doing prompts, where each of us go off and we watch a movie based on a prompt that we both receive, and then we come and yap about it together. And if you have ideas for any prompts that you think could be fun for us, please let us know in the comments or in a review or anywhere like that. We have a couple that have been suggested from us from like significant others and things like that, so would be fun.
Do we want to give them a sample?
Yeah, give them some examples.
Here, why don't you roll? Do you have your dice right next to you?
I can.
Okay. Should I read on?
I'll just roll a d20.
Okay.
There's only 52. There's not really a good dice.
Yeah. Well, if you roll a d20, I'm gonna roll a d6. Odds will be from my list. Evens will be from yours.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 6.
6. So. Oh. A movie that starts with the first letter of your name.
Yeah, so they can be silly like that one, or they can be more serious ones. Like we have one that's a 2025 award-winning film. Mm-hmm. So that one's a little bit more like a confined list, whereas the other one's more like have fun, good luck. So yeah, I think it'll be a pretty fun time. It'll be similar to this, except rather than Spoiler Town, we just have to both. You know,
it's gonna be sell
sections.
Us on our movie, and I
or don't sell us.
Yeah,
because we do have one prompt right now in our list. Movie that the other host disliked.
It's true. It's gonna be the sell.
It's gonna be the It's gonna be the anti sell it to be like, convince me not to watch it. Sometimes that'll convince me to watch something, depending on what kind of bad it is.
Yeah, so it will. It'll be interesting. Oh, that's what that's not even there. A sequel to a movie that we've already watched on the list, like that we watched for the podcast.
Adapt something, yeah.
Suggested by the other host. Put it all together so that way I can tell you to watch The Cell 2.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, don't worry. I'll type it.
Oh, suddenly my Discord's disconnecting. Oh, no, guys. My technology. It's betrayed me.
So, yeah. Some exciting times. But we still got 2 months left. I had to count real quick. I'm like, how many? How many? Yeah, so join us next week for The Thing. And prepare your buns for who is number 11 director. I don't remember. I remembered who it was.
So, yeah, you got it.
I was like, I do. And with that, we'll see y'all next time.